What's up, Seahawks fans? Welcome back to the unofficial official podcast of the Seattle Seahawks. Hawks are back in the win column, which feels good. I'm sure you guys are feeling good too. Carl and I break it down this week and have a look at the NFC playoff picture. It is pretty scrambled, to be completely honest. For the time being, the Hawks are take back the top spot in the NFC West. Let's see what happens with this Rams game tonight. Enjoy. Have a listen. We love you guys. Seven and 3. How does that sound, Carl?
It sounds a lot better than 6 and 4. Let me tell you that.
That's what the Cardinals are. We were talking about this briefly. It has to be the best jersey combination in NFL history. I'm not biased in saying that, right?
No, it's up there for sure. And
all green, I get some people don't like it. It is what it is. The green jersey with the blue pants looks so good.
I agree. The green is a bit much.
All green.
It almost hurts your eyes a little bit, but the blue pants clean it up real nice.
Looks so good. I wish they would wear that more often. They only do it once a year, it seems like.
They just pull it out when they need it, when the season's going away?
Usually it's primetime games. They pull it out.
Yeah.
So I think they had a Monday night game earlier in the year that they wore all green.
That's right.
And then this Thursday night game, they wore green and blue. They announce it at the beginning of the season. They announce what jerseys they're going to wear each week. Mm-hmm. And so you know when the green jerseys are coming out. So I think they plan it right from the beginning of the year. I feel like this is going to be a short and sweet podcast, Carl. It was nice to see the defense play maybe their best game of the season.
I would have to 100% agree with you there, Denny.
Pass rush looks much better. I know like Murray hurt himself early in the game and kind of battled through that, so maybe he wasn't as good as he was last time we played them, and he's been this season. But it was cool to see him have to hurry a little bit.
The one thing too is he only had 15 rushing yards. That's not a lot. They did a fantastic job containing him.
I read this thing today, which is crazy. I don't know if another quarterback has had this, but Murray has played 10 games this year, and in 8 of them, he's had a rushing touchdown.
That's incredible.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
I don't know if anyone's ever beat that or done that before.
I don't think so. And I heard that the announcers were mentioning that the Cardinals are the best defensive team in the league right now.
Best?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
No, I don't think so. Really?
I might be wrong.
I think the Rams are better than them.
Offensively?
Oh, offense.
Offense, yeah.
Oh, I thought you said defense.
No, sorry, offense.
I think the Seahawks are still up there.
Yeah, Seahawks up there.
Like in terms of what? Yards per game?
I think
Points per game?
Total, yeah.
Or like total offensive stats?
I don't know what the announcers were exactly focusing on. I think it's just total offense stats. Let's see here. But that surprised me. Yeah, they're number 1. Kansas City's number 2. And then the Chargers are 3.
So what is that based on?
Everything. Total yards, passing yards, rushing yards, and then points per game. So they can put up points.
Where's the Seahawks in there?
Seahawks are 4.
Okay. Because they were 1 for a while. Do they have more points, though? I guess last game, Kurt only scoring 13, whatever they had, 13 or 16.
So the Seahawks have a higher points per game, second highest in the league at 31.8, and then the Cardinals are 28.7. The Chiefs are first at 32.1. So it's all up there, pretty close.
Speaking of the Chiefs, Mahomes is good, eh?
Mahomes is good, yeah. He's fun to watch, too.
Did you watch the game last night?
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch his game-winning drive?
Isn't that the only thing you stay and watch those games for? Yeah. Just him in that position is so much fun to watch.
It was so easy for him.
Do you think it's
it looked like the Raiders' defense disappeared?
Completely, yeah. He was just picking them apart.
Yeah.
He did whatever he wanted. Do you think that's like pure athleticism, or do you think it's his mindset and like the way he prepares for games? Because his confidence.
I think some people are just built differently than other people. I don't know. I know that like Russell Wilson prepares really, really well, which is probably a factor why he's good late in games too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know enough about Mahomes, but I would assume if he is the best quarterback in the world, that he probably prepares really well.
He knows what's going on, yeah.
I think at that level, like everyone you're playing against is a freak athlete too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think preparation probably makes a big difference.
It just, if you got to find a way to separate, right? Just be more prepared for the game. Yeah.
Watch more film, understand what defenses are doing as they're lining up before they're actually doing it. Yeah, man.
Fun to watch.
The NFC is still so crazy congested, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Like Drew Brees going down, they still had a big win against a mediocre team, right?
Taysom Hill, eh? I'm surprised that they went with him.
Did you watch that game at all?
I count maybe like a quarter of it, but he's not a real quarterback. He's like that in between.
He's like a Tim Tebow, right?
Yeah, he plays a little bit of everything. And they have James Winston on the bench, which he, I mean, had a pretty solid year last year. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
but I mean,
shit.
people were surprised that he went with Taysom Hill.
He was a starter in Tampa
Bay
last year, right?
Yeah.
Who did they beat? They beat...
Oh, why can't I remember?
Oh, they beat Atlanta. Atlanta's not very good. Atlanta's 3-7.
Atlanta is just on the struggle bus right now.
But they have the best... have we heard anything about Drew Brees' injury?
The length?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Because they're the only 8-2 team in the NFC. And then the Seahawks are currently in second position at 7-3. But if the Rams win today, the Rams would go to second at 7-3, and we would fall to 6.
That is a big swing.
In the NFC. Yeah.
Man.
Do you like the way that the NFL does the playoffs in that the 4 division winners get the top 4 spots rather than the 4 best records?
I don't know. Because, I mean, it makes things interesting, but then you get like, you know, the Philadelphia, Dallas, and then those guys are making the playoffs with a losing record. So that's kind of whack. I don't know. Because it's either this kind of style or you're comparing it more to the NBA, right? Where it's like essentially just your record. No division. I don't know. I think divisions make it more interesting. A little bit more funner. Gives teams, you know, you get the underdog in the playoffs, someone makes a run or whatever, but I think it makes it a little bit more funner.
Right now, if the season were to end right now, the NFC West has 3 teams in the playoffs. I do not believe that's ever happened before.
No way. There's no way. So how do you feel about it?
The playoff?
Yeah.
It's always been confusing to me, like why a team would finish like 9-6 and not make the playoffs, and then someone would win their division, like the Seahawks a bunch of years ago, 2012, I think we talked about, or 2010, at 7-9. I don't know, but at the same time in the NFL, strength of schedule varies so differently based on who's in your conference. Like the strength of schedule of like the Philadelphia Eagles, for example, who get to play 3 shit teams twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that like if you are a decent football team, that's 6 automatic wins, right? It should be.
And like
because their division is so bad.
So bad. And like football's just a weird sport, right? Because you only have those few games. You're not playing 80 plus games in a year. So you don't meet every team. So I kind of like the divisions in that factor. Like the better team within division actually gets a chance to move on, right? Because you're competing. Those are the games that you're playing. You don't get the chance to see everyone in the league. So in that case, I think it works. Like you said, strength of schedule is everything in the NFL.
It makes such a big difference. Speaking of the the Seahawks, they have the weakest strength of schedule for for the remainder of the season, which is interesting. And really at this point, I think it would be a pretty big downer if we did not come out of these next 4 at 11-3. We have Philly, we have the Jets, we have the Giants, and Washington.
Yeah.
Combined, what do they have? Like 10 wins, 11 wins?
That's generous.
The Jets are still 0-9?
0-10. Or 0-11? No, 0-10.
I think the Giants have won a few games.
The Giants are 3-7. The Eagles are 3-6.
So that's 6.
And then
wins. And then Washington has 3?
I think they just won this
3.
week. Yeah. So 9. So no.
9. Crazy.
Took the under.
Let's get back to the defense, Carl. What'd you like? Oh, I saw that something interesting. Jadeveon Clowney last year in how many games did he play? 10?
Even if that.
I think he
was it 8 or 9? Was it 10?
I can't remember. Something like that. Anyway, as a Seahawk had like 2 sacks last year.
Yeah.
And Carlos Dunlap in his first, has he played 3 games? Maybe 3. Has 3.5.
He has been fantastic.
Really good, hey?
Really good. Dude, like...
It's a weird position, right? Because like a lot of what you do goes unnoticed or you don't get credit for. Like if you push your guy back 3 yards and the running back has to change directions and gets tackled for a loss.
Yeah. Closing holes.
It's your, like you should get credit for that, but no one is ever really saying your name.
No.
Occasionally, like commentators will pick that guy out and watch a replay and circle him. But like a lot of what you do goes unnoticed. And so for a fan or someone who necessarily doesn't know the game that well, they probably can't really understand why like Aaron Donald makes whatever, $20 million a year or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But like he is a factor on almost every play.
Because the fans notice him when he's on top of the quarterback.
Exactly.
Right?
That's all they know. Tackles for a loss and sacks, right?
But those big guys, those like key players, like they're going at those guys 100% every time. Oh my God. They're getting double team. Like they're forcing double teams. And even then you have a problem creating holes, right? Like it limits your run and everything so much. Those guys change everything.
So you like the way the defense played?
Dude, they had so much pressure.
It was a lot better.
A lot better. Guys' footwork was fantastic. Man, watching Bobby Wagner line up the running backs when they're going one-on-one is a thing of beauty. His footwork is amazing.
It is.
He guesses, like, they're cut almost every time. It's wild to see. And like I said, the containment on Kyler was huge. That was big. 15 rushing yards. They took that completely out of the game.
When you're watching games, are you like singling out guys on plays? Because watching and being able to comment on someone's footwork like that and how they read running backs' cuts, I don't think most people watch the game that way.
I don't know.
Are you replaying plays or are you just like watching specific guys on certain downs and stuff?
I watch. I think I follow guys on specific downs. I think there's so much happening. I think that's the best way to get a feel kind of how everyone's playing.
So you're not watching the ball all the time?
Not all the time, no. I think that's what most fans do, though.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's the same as like the DNs, right? Not giving them credit when they're blowing up people.
Exactly. And like, oh, what a perfect ending to the game, eh? A sack. Right down left. Yeah. So perfect.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I mean, what else? What did you think? Talk to me about the CBs, the secondary.
Well, last time Kyler Murray played us, he put up 360 yards and 3 touchdowns. This time he put up 269 and 2 touchdowns. And again, like we were up most of the game, if not all the game.
The entire game, I think.
The entire game.
Yeah.
So that probably helps those stats a little bit. Like they were throwing a lot. They only rushed the ball 18 times.
They had a terrible rushing game. Once again, our defensive line stepped up.
Huge. Whereas the Seahawks had a really, really balanced offense. And I looked pretty good. Like it's nice to have a running back. Like Carlos Hyde was back and he had 14 carries for 80 yards.
He looks good out there, eh? He's really surprising. Good. He had a couple catches too. What's their 6th string guy? What's his name again?
DJ or Bo Scarborough?
Guy. Wasn't there one more?
No, Someone
with an S.
Bo Scarborough.
Scarborough, that's right.
Scarborough.
He had a couple cool runs, man. They were using everyone. But they were using the running backs, not just running, but they were throwing to them. DJ Dallas had a couple receptions, a couple big runs. Just throwing everyone out there.
DJ Dallas had 2 catches. I don't know if you remember this. So I think it was in the first half. There was a big play down the sideline to Metcalf, and it got called back for holding.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that play?
Mm-mm.
So our center is a rookie, and he is not a center. He is a tackle, but he got put as center because our center got hurt. Pocic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pocic. He's been out for a few weeks, I think.
Ethan, yep.
So Damian Lewis is playing center, and who has had quite a good season for being a rookie in the NFL at a very difficult position. He just gets run straight over. Just straight over. Like he falls backwards and the guy falls on top of him because his momentum is pushing him forward.
He gets pancaked every time.
No, not every time. That was the first time I ever seen it for him. But they threw a flag and called a holding penalty, and they replayed it like twice or 3 times on TV. And it was hilarious how like you're just embarrassing someone at that point, right? Like it's embarrassing to get run over.
Oh yeah.
And he clearly got run over and did not hold at all. But they called a hold on it. And I wanted to bring that up just to reiterate how much I hate refs in all sports, in all situations.
So he just went through him and fell around. Did he close his hands or anything? Was he inside of him?
He just got straight run over and fell backwards on his ass.
Did
And the guy fell on top of him.
Did he go to the TV ref? Mm-hmm. Did he have any comments? What did he say?
Mike Zafora, what's his last name?
Sephora.
Is that a makeup brand? How do I know that? I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, I just wanted to bring it up because it makes me upset. And during the game when this stuff happens, I'm yelling. One of the other things I wrote down on my notes, I told you, I wrote Flowers is so bad 3 times. Mm-hmm. He's so bad. Is that really the best that can possibly... Like, can we bring Deion Sanders back?
It'd probably be better. Because it's been a few games now where he's been completely exposed.
Good news was Quentin Dunbar was injured, so we didn't have 2 absolute liabilities out there. Man, you know who... I'm surprised he doesn't get in more trouble. We're off the Flowers topic. We know. Everyone knows he's not a good football player. It is what it is. I'm surprised he doesn't get suspended more. Quandre Diggs.
Another helmet to helmet, eh?
He had 2 absolute annihilations of human beings in the game. And he really likes to line people up. And the first one was very clean. Mm-hmm. I think it was a tight end, like over the middle, caught the ball, turned, and like his shoulder just hit him straight in the chest and knocked him backwards, and he dropped the ball. Mm-hmm. And it was a huge play. It was like 3rd and 4 or something.
Yep.
It was huge.
Yep.
As a football fan, I love seeing those plays happen. Like they're so fun to watch. And I don't know about you watching those plays, but like it's an immediate reaction for me that is involuntary. Like I can't control it. Just as soon as that hit happens, I'm like, oh!
You can't help it. You got to stand up, get off your seat. No, I know. It's a big hit. It's freaking... Oh. But he had another one after on DeAndre Hopkins too.
That was head-to-head?
Almost.
I think Hopkins complained about it, didn't he?
He complained. I don't think they hit, but he's out there. He's throwing himself around, man. Do you think he's going to get another one soon? Another fine?
I know. Remember early in the year, he got kicked out of a game, right?
Yeah.
I've got Hyde looking good in the first half. He had a really good game.
Really good.
This happened again. And I think maybe as Seahawks fans, while Pete Carroll is still running the show, we just have to assume that this is always going to happen. But again, I think it was in the second quarter. I can't remember. 4th and 1 around midfield. Mm-hmm. And he punts again. I don't really get it. I think we've talked all those stats with Mike. It makes a lot of sense for me, especially when we have a very struggling defense to, like, at that point, Carlos Hyde was averaging like 7.5 yards a carry.
Yes, yeah.
And it's 4th and half a yard. Why not? I don't know. It seems like Pete Carroll doesn't even think about like the situation. He's not thinking like, remember a couple games ago we were talking about it, and we're down 7 at that point early in the game. The defense has looked atrocious. They've had 3 drives of like 80 plus yards for touchdowns already. It seems like he's not taking that into consideration, and his philosophy is just you punt the ball on 4th down.
No matter what, eh?
No matter what.
Because like even we talked about it like with Mike last time. Don't teams that go for it on 4th and 1, isn't it like a 73% success rate or something high?
It's really high.
And especially if we have a struggling defense, I 100% agree with you. Like, let's start taking more risks. I don't know, but I think he's just old school. Super, super old school. Play it super, super safe.
I think my confusion comes into that, like, it seems like situation is not taken into consideration, and I think it should be.
Yeah. It's like no matter what, he has a decision,
If
right?
you have the best defense in the league,
Yeah.
and let's say you're up by 7 early in the game or something, a turnover on your own 40 could give another team a lot of momentum and completely change the way the game's going. If you have the worst defense in NFL history and you're already down by 7, you're already playing catch up. So punting the ball essentially puts you down by 14.
Yeah.
And then it's a lot, like, it's an extremely difficult situation to come out of.
Very difficult. He's got to start going for it. I don't know. Let's take more risks, man.
Do we know when, I think they said Penny is on pace for like week 13, 14. Is that what they said recently? And what about Carson?
Fuck. I think Carson is going to try to come back next week.
Is he?
Yeah. He's
That'd be really
questionable
nice to
right
have
now.
it. Even if he just handles the ball like 10 to 12 times,
Yeah.
and then Hyde is like a great second option. Then we like, I guess Scarborough had a decent game too. Averaged 5.2 yards,
Came out of
6 carries for
nowhere.
31 yards.
I think both our lines just showed up. But yeah, how long is he out for? Yeah, so Chris Carson might be back next week.
He might be, okay.
And Shaquille Griffin is out. Yeah, you mentioned that.
I think he's going to go for a bit.
Travis Homer is doubtful. Yeah, the Shaquille Griffin one hurts us a lot. It hurts us a lot because then we're forced to play one of those other CBs.
Like Flowers and Dunbar. Man. Okay. I didn't know this rule. We were just talking about this. So we had a safety in the game, which is weird. Just a weird rule. It is so penalizing.
It's crazy. 2 points and the ball?
The ball.
Yeah. It's game changer.
But I didn't know this rule that a penalty on the offense in the end zone results in a safety.
How often do you think that comes up?
So rare.
Maybe once every 5 years?
No, I think it
Once
might
a
be
year?
more than that. I was going to say once a year.
Once a year at least?
Because teams get pinned on the 3-4 yard line all the time.
All the time.
So a hold probably happens fairly often.
But it just happened that he was he was taking a step over the line, and when the hold actually happened, he was in the end zone, which results in a safety. So
Weird.
fucking
I
weird.
know. That is extremely penalizing.
I see if I can figure out when's the last time that has happened.
The hold already in football, I don't really understand why it's a 10-yard penalty when most of the other small penalties are 5-yard
yards,
penalties.
yeah.
It's very penalizing.
And it's hard to call. It's hard to get a clean look and make a call. There's so much happening on the field at once.
But then, offensive linemen might have the hardest job in the league. Dude, it's so hard. And then you make the most harsh penalties against them. So you need to protect the quarterback who makes the most money.
You need to know the snap count.
If he gets hurt, your career is essentially done.
Yeah, there's no point in
if it's your fault, you're out. Mm-hmm. Get out. So your job is to protect him from the most athletic freak humans of all time. Oh, and if you touch them in the wrong way, we're going to move your team backwards. And if you touch them in the wrong way, in the wrong part of the field, in the end zone, we're going to give the other team 2 points. You're going to look like an idiot, and we're going to make you give the ball.
And they're going to get the ball again. That's the biggest thing, man. Some
good games next week. Ravens and the Steelers. Man, I like that.
They're playing again, eh?
Yeah, because they're the same division. They play twice. Who did they beat Tennessee this week? The Ravens. That was a pretty good game.
No, the Ravens lost.
Did Tennessee win it?
Tennessee won in overtime.
Oh, shit, that's right.
Derrick Henry went to the touchdown.
That's right.
Lamar Jackson doesn't look very good.
No.
Not at all.
No.
Teams have figured out how to contain his rush a bit more. Now he's more controlled. He's forced to throw. And he's struggling to make those decisions, struggling to make those plays. Also, Baltimore has like no receivers. They have one good tight end, and that's it.
That's right. Huh. I don't think I said from the beginning of the year.
You've been calling it for the last year and a half.
I don't think they're that good of a football team.
Mm-mm.
I'm a bit surprised how good Pittsburgh is this year. I didn't think they were going to be, when was the last time a team was 10-0?
Especially like a team like this on paper. Mm-hmm. They're not sure, they're good, but not 10-0. I think they just have a lot of things that are clicking for them right now.
And they're beating good teams.
Yeah, they are. Their defense is playing fantastic.
Like this week they beat the Jaguars.
They aight.
Who they beat? They beat the Ravens by 4. They beat the Titans by 3. And so they haven't played good teams. Never mind. They played 2 good teams. But they won both. They play the Ravens again this week on Thursday night. Ooh.
That's going to be a fun game.
Baby. That'd be a sweet game. The Ravens are 6-4, eh? Yikes.
They're struggling, dude.
And then they have Buffalo. They have a pretty easy schedule, these guys, eh? They have 4 games this year that are good teams. They have Buffalo later in the year. All right, Carl. NFC playoff picture. Who is looking promising to you right now?
From the NFC, eh?
Yeah.
Not anyone from the NFC East.
I think that's a given. Yeah.
The last couple of weeks, the LA Rams have surprised me. They're playing the Bucks right now. This is a fucking huge game.
Yeah. I think the winner of this game might put themselves at the top of the NFC. I think New Orleans, with Drew Brees out for a few weeks, probably.
They're not the same team.
No, not even close. And I wonder if he'll be back for the Chiefs game. They play the Chiefs on December 20th.
The Packers lost too, eh? To Indianapolis. That was a big loss. Mm-hmm. So that hurts the NFC North. I don't know what's going on with the Packers. I think it's their defense. I don't think their defense is on the same tier as like some of these other teams.
No.
I mean, I don't know how much I like them. You said this. I like the Bucks over the Saints, especially now.
It's probably the Bucks and the Rams 1-2 right now.
Yeah.
And then Seattle,
Seahawks,
New Orleans, and
Cardinals,
Green Bay.
I throw Cardinals in there too.
Yeah.
I mean, the NFC is tight. This is probably the tightest we've seen it in forever.
So long. I know.
Flip a coin. And one of the divisions is useless. That's so funny.
Man. The Eagles. I'm trying to get our good friend Nav to come hang out with us on Monday night next week and watch the Eagles game with us. The Eagles do not have an easy schedule. The Eagles' next few games are Seahawks, Packers, Saints, Cardinals, Cowboys.
And something's going on with Carson Wentz, man. He's a turnover machine. The Eagles are on the struggle bus right now.
I wonder what happened to that guy.
He's more picks than TDs.
Everyone was so pumped about him his first year.
And he got them to the Super Bowl, but then didn't even get a chance to win it. He got injured.
Yeah. Foles won.
Now Foles is struggling with the Bears. Football is such a weird, crazy
What
sport.
happened there? Why is he starting and not the other guy?
Trubisky? Trubisky was playing really bad, and they pulled him, I think, and then he's also been dealing with some kind of injury. I think the last few weeks he's just been on the bench. He hasn't even been dressed. Because remember when Foles got injured, they had to put in the other guy, the third string?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Do you think the Hawks can have a convincing victory this year? They have 4 games in a row that they should beat teams by double digits.
Yes. I think the next 4 games are cakewalks. I think I hate where some.
I don't know about that in the NFL. The NFL is too good. Have cakewalks.
Cakewalks? No, you're not a fan of cakewalks.
I don't know. I feel like one of the 4 is going to be a really close game.
Yeah, they'll be like within a touchdown.
It's just the way the Seahawks
I know.
play.
You're so right.
And the defense is so bad, right?
They'll all be within a touchdown and a field goal, so within 10 points.
I think they'll all be less than 10 points.
Yeah.
All of them.
Fuck.
We're playing the Jets.
I know, but do you go
Washington.
all out against the Jets? How do you get pumped up to play the Jets? I'm going to say all within 10, Denny.
All single digits.
Say we beat the Jets by 10.
That's a bold statement. Okay, what do you think Monday night?
Oh, fuck. The Eagles are bad. I think our offense gets rolling. I think we get our 30. And now it just depends which one of our defenses shows up. We've been pretty good. We haven't had a takeaway in a while, eh? That would be nice to see. It's been a long time. A forced fumble or interception?
They didn't have one this week.
No. Okay, let's go 34. Oh, fuck. Now I fucked myself with the 10-point thing, didn't I?
I was just thinking about that. I think the Eagles are going to put 27 against us?
No, let's go 31-24. I think we see regression this week in our defense.
Really?
I think so. We're so fucking inconsistent, man.
I'm going to say 31-20.
31-20. Okay.
Win by 11.
Okay. So we're both kind of in that range.
Because I think as soon as the Seahawks get up in the first half, let's say they're up like 17-7 early in the game, they're just going to run the ball a lot.
And the game just goes. Clock runs. You think it's going to be a good start by the Seahawks?
Yeah.
I don't know. The Eagles don't scare me at all.
The offense looked good. Like very balanced. Ran for 165 and Russ threw for 197.
I feel like Metcalf did a fantastic job kind of not being shut out by a good defender this week. I think he's trying a few things different, and I think...
Lockett had a quiet, good game, eh?
He had the second touchdown, but he was quiet.
He had 9 receptions, though. It didn't seem like he was involved that much.
No. He just get these like little sneaky grabs when you need it,
A bunch of short passes. Because he only had 67 yards for nine touches.
On 3rd and 4th and stuff, he'll always get those 5 yards, right? Just that. Just enough.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Not worried about the Eagles.
I'm excited to get through that Cardinals game. Because if they lost that and they were 6-4, it'd be a pretty tough stretch. Whereas
I agree.
Right now, they're in a pretty good position to win the division.
Especially, that would have been a 3-game losing streak too, right?
I know.
Last week you get on a win and now you go 4 easy games.
Because if they win all 4, right now, assuming the Rams win tonight, the Hawks and Rams are tied in record, but the Rams have the tiebreaker right now. And what does the Rams, the rest of their schedule look like? They play the 49ers next week, then the Cardinals, Patriots, Jets, Seahawks. So their rest of their season is way tougher than ours.
Way tougher. That's going to be a great game against Arizona.
In Arizona too, December 6th.
Oh, let's go.
And the Pats are so up and down, man. They've looked really good on a couple of games and then like so bad on others.
I don't know what's going on with Cam Newton, man.
I don't think he's that good.
He's not, I don't know. I don't know how he got MVP that one year, but he's not a good thrower.
He had a great team around him.
Yeah.
Like, they made the Super Bowl that year, right?
He's slowed down a lot now. He's making a lot of turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
It's ugly. It's ugly in New England right now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him.
I never really liked his style of play.
He's almost like a big Lamar Jackson, right?
Yeah. Cam probably throws it better than Lamar.
It's not saying much, but yeah.
When you don't have many weapons around you, you need to be like one of the best to win football games.
100%. Yeah. Or you need to have a special connection with the receiver or something. Something's got to click, but you're gonna have to work harder.
Yeah, let's get over that. Beats my story. Cool.